Hey YouTube, it's Mr. North 14, and yes, I am back today with the Ardent or the GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker. This is my third unit. I had a beginning unit. It had Wi-Fi issues. You can go back to the videos and see that. Then I got a second one. It worked for one day and then it went kaput. So basically, you could open it and close it. All the power buttons work, but it wouldn't turn on. It wouldn't work. It would say that the door is left open. So that was the issue with it. Please go back to the video and you can see it. And this is my third unit. I received this unit a day before Thanksgiving. I wanted to use it during Thanksgiving to help cook some stuff, but I didn't want to set it all up. So I went out to my pellet grill smoker, and then I went in after Thanksgiving and I started using this bad boy again. And I'm here just to tell you about some issues I had, some issues I didn't have, what I liked about it best. Like I said, this thing is a low and slow cooker. Okay, it's not like your pellet grill outside. They go up to 500 degrees. This goes to 140 to 300. So this is all about low and slow cooking. This is not about putting a hamburger or hot dog on and cooking it really, really fast. Even though you can put a hamburger or hot dog in here, but it's just not as quick. It doesn't get that heat temperature. And when you're cooking certain things like chicken, when you're using an electric smoker or any type of smoker that goes between 140 and 300, that chicken skin is kind of rubbery and tough. So you basically have to either put it in a fryer, or put it in an air fryer, or put it on broil in your oven just to crisp up that skin and get that leathery taste out of the chicken. So you're always going to get that when you use this with chicken with skin. Now, it's not bad when you have chicken wings. The chicken wings are so small and tiny and don't have a lot of meat on it, where the meat tastes really good when you having chicken wings. So chicken wings is okay, but chicken legs, thighs, all that stuff that got skin on them, you're not going to particularly like the flavor of the skin. You'll love the meat because it's slow cooked, it's juicy, and it's moist. A lot of people love that rubbery meat. I'm not one of those people that like the rubbery skin. Okay, so with that said, remember this thing can only fit 2 cups of pellets. 2 cups of pellets will only last you 4 hours. So around the 3-hour mark, you're going to have to put more pellets in here so that you don't run out and you don't have to worry about priming it again if you're doing a long cook. Okay? Another thing you have to notice about the pellets is that they fall in this waste bin here. They fall in this waste bin right here. And the problem is that if the waste bin is not in, the pellets will fall down here. Like I just threw one out of there. And what happens is it won't allow you to close this properly. And if you don't close this properly, this unit won't work. So every now and then, remember, when you take this out to put water in or something, just be careful, take your hand down to the bottom and clean out, these pellets. I don't know if you can see them or not, but you want to clean out those pellets because it will stop the machine from acting properly. Now, that wasn't the issue with the second one I had. The second one, the issue was actually the door, because it said the door is open, and it wouldn't close. So I don't know if a pellet or something got caught in here, or I just had a faulty unit. Okay, so like I said, be careful with the pellets and that. Make sure you always fill this with water. Make sure you prime it occasionally, just so you can make sure that the pellets are dropping and that they're in line to be smoked and cooked and everything, and that you're not having any issues. I knew a few friends who purchased this and their units weren't burning their pellets. And I've never had that issue. I didn't see at least a few burnt pellets in this thing. Okay, so if you ain't seeing any burnt pellets and you decide to get this, which they now have for $699, which I think is a very reasonable price and worth what this machine is. That $999 they were charging people was just ridiculous because it doesn't have, as you can see, the size for you to be paying the price that you would pay for, you know, a good quality, you know, pellet grill smoker, you know, for $200 more dollars at $1,200, something like that. You can get a Camp Chef or a Traeger that's, you know, top of the line, you know. So it's no issue. This is not that it's not top of the line. Like I said, it does conceal the smoke, but the issue with concealing the smoke is that at the same time they tell you you have to rotate your trays that are in here. So if you got food in there and you want your chicken to cook evenly, you don't have to rotate it. The problem with that is it takes 10 minutes for it to clear the smoke out. So it says it's a indoor smoker that, you know, doesn't allow smoke to get in your house, but you have to come to the realization that if you move or rotate your food, you're gonna have to open this door, or you're gonna have to wait 10 whole minutes for it to clear the smoke. Then you can move your food, and then you got to start back over and say, okay, now you can tell it to smoke again. So it's like, you know, you have to deal with some things. Now, I don't really open this door, and still all my food cooks good and somewhat evenly, but this thing does have hot spots on it. And the first thing you will know is your first tray goes here. This area up here is the best place to cook food. It's going to cook it more evenly, and it's going to be right there where the smoke comes out and everything. Second layer here, that's going to be the second best place to cook. Now the bad part is the third layer, which is closer to the heating element down at the bottom here, is actually the worst level to cook. This is where things are going to take even longer to cook. I had 3 chicken legs or chicken breasts in here, and the third one took about 4 to 5 hours to cook because I left it on this third shelf here. And I was like, oh my gosh, so that must be my weakest zone when I'm cooking with this unit. And it's best to know where your zones are, so that you'll know if you have to move your food or you have to open this up and let smoke in your house and turn, you know, stuff around so that it cooks evenly. But you probably won't do it. Like I said, I don't really do it unless something gets done before another piece, which always happens. And so I open up the door, but make sure you stand away from this unit. Do not go all up and try to look into it, because remember, it's a strong gust of smoke and hot air, and you got a lot of hot air coming from out of here to funnel the air through the unit so that it stays cool. And you're gonna get smells out of this, not smoke smell. You're just gonna get a barbecue. Your house gonna have a barbecue smell for about a day, but you're gonna have a smoke smell unless you open this door. But it, like I said, it doesn't last longer than a day, and I haven't felt any issues or anything with the smoke. The smoke level, I always use 5. The 4, 3, 2, and 1 really don't have any flavor to me, the smoke levels. You know, so at 5, I'm always tasting smoke. Another important thing about this thing is that you have to use premium pellets. Okay, you can't use the cheap Sam's or Walmart brand for $15 where you get 40 pounds. Like, I mean, you can use them, you know, where you get the 40-pound bag. You can use them, but you're not going to get that strong smoke smell like you get from the Kona pellets or Bear Mountain or something that's a premium brand. So you really need a premium brand of pellets to use with this thing, okay? Mark that, remember that. That's why when you first get it and you got those pellets that you use from Kona that only last 1 or 2 cooks, you're going to really smell the smoke flavor and you're going to really enjoy it. And you're not going to be able to, want to go back to a cheaper brand of pellets. Now, the problem with the Kona pellets is they're very expensive and you don't get a lot of those. So that's my problem with the Kona, why I don't buy them, and I'm going to buy a Bear Mountain or something like that. I'm just using some of the pellets I have now because I just want to check out the smoke quality and the smoke flavor, and that tells me that this unit works best with premium pellets. So find you some premium pellets that are affordable but are good, and you will always enjoy the smoke flavor with this unit. Now, this unit will not leave a smoke ring in any of your meat. Okay? It's not like a regular pellet grill smoker outside that's not only using the pellets to smoke but also to heat and cook your food. This is using like I showed you down at the bottom underneath this, a little electric plate here. That's where all your heat coming from. Okay, and that's where you're getting your temperatures from. So just remember that. And I told you about the pellet issue here, making sure you clean the pellets out. This is the thermostat here. This is how you're gonna use this and know what your temperatures are with the unit. I don't use this. I don't use it because, as you can see how big it is. Okay, it's too big to fit in anything properly, you know, except when I cooked my pork shoulder, which was really big. I used this. It worked perfectly. I didn't have to add the clear smoke after the cook. It did that automatically, so when it reached temperature, it had cleared the smoke and I was ready to eat. If I don't use this, then I have to clear the smoke, or when it finished cooking at a certain time that I put on here, it'll clean the smoke. Okay, so remember, with your phone app, you can turn it on and you can turn it off. And what I mean by turning it off, it won't go off, it'll go into this mode here. Like, so let's say I'm cooking custom. I can use my phone app to turn it off, and what it will do is it'll go back to that screen right there, it's there. But it will turn the unit off. If you're cooking anything, it will clear the smoke in the unit, and then it'll tell you when you can come and open it. Okay, so you can use your app to turn it on and turn it off, but when you turn it off, it's going to be like this, but it's also going to be still clearing the smoke for you. So you can't use the app if you're, you know, away from the smoker, you know, in the bathroom, upstairs, downstairs, somewhere, you know, around your house, and your thermometers, which I use are wireless, tells me that my food has reached temperature. So you just turn it off like that. It also has a keep warm function. I don't use the keep warm function because it just overcooks it, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. Remember, all this is my opinion, okay? Somebody else might be having a great time, so please check out other videos and see what people are saying. I just wanted to give you a quick heads up to let you know that I'm enjoying this unit. It's cooking my food low and slow. This is a low and slow cooker. This is not a fast pellet grill smoker. Okay? This is the thing, you put things in and it's going to take some time to cook. Don't think this is a fast machine. Okay? So you got to start stuff early when you're using this thing. Okay? It usually takes about 2 to 3 hours for most of the things I need done in this thing, or an hour and 30 minutes too. That's about the lowest time I've ever had anything done in this. But it all depends on your placement. Like I said, you're going to have to find out where your hot zone is on yours and where the warm zones are. Remember, the top rack is always going to be the best place to cook. So if you just throwing one thing in and you can fit it all on one rack, fit it on one rack, put it at the top, it's going to get the smoke it needs, and it's also going to get done quick, and it's going to get done fairly juicy. Well, it's going to get done fair and juicy. It's going to be juicy. That's one thing this thing does, low and slow. So remember that. This is a low and slow cooker. Is there anything else I can tell you about? I told you to be careful because there's heat coming out here. And when you open this thing after a cook, stand back from it. Okay? Open it up. Let the steam and the heat come out first. You might see a little smoke. That might be from some stuff still burning or something that didn't get shot out the unit. But it's mostly steam and it's just mostly steam. So be careful, because when it comes out, it will get you, and that smoke smell is so strong and powerful that it will stop you from breathing as well. So stay away from it when you open the door. The best thing I cooked in here was a turkey breast, and that was all put together, and I have a video on that turkey breast. That was one of the first things I cooked in this thing, and it tasted awesome. It was moist, it was juicy, and it was flavorful. So if you want great tasting meat, this is a great machine, but this is not a replacement for your pellet smoker, okay? So when Thanksgiving came, I still had this unit, and if I wanted to use it, I could have used it, but I would have had to cut the chicken up in order to fit it in here, because this is not a very big unit, okay? Well, I was able to take my turkey outside and enjoy it there. Now, during these cold months, I've been smoking everything indoors, and this thing is a blessing, you know, in disguise. So if you're going to get it, right now it's at $6.99. That is the price that I believe this unit is worth, okay? Because it's giving you everything and more, and then you get a good price for it, about $6.99. That $9.99, I wasn't too happy, and so I really wasn't in a rush to tell you folks to, I like it, and my opinion is this is something, you know, to go out and get extra if you have a pellet grill. This is not a replacement for a pellet grill. If you're an older person, it's just you and your wife or something like that, I say fine, you can get this. This is not a party type of machine where you can put all kinds of food on it and in it and cook everything for everybody. You're still going to need a pellet smoker or a grill for that. Okay, this is something that is nice, convenient, and if you really want to cook great meals, that's what this puppy is for. As far as cleaning it, as you can see, the glass is still fairly good. Whatever material they're making this glass out of, they need to make it for every smoker because it's easy to wipe off and clean. Now, I got issues with smoke building up in the back there. I don't know if you can see it, but it's a chunk of black smoke, and I'm going to have to get that cleaner that Arden, they showed for Arden when they was doing a cleaning from Amazon, and use it to clean this back area, because that smoke builds up and it gets chunky on here. So I'm gonna say in probably another month I'm gonna order that stuff, and I'll give you a readout on, you know, if that stuff works good and if it cleared up some of the gunk. Now my light up here is still a little dirty from the smoke and everything, but that's what I'm gonna get that cleaner for. And make sure you don't put no water in that back. It says back right here. So you don't want to spray anything on there. You don't want to get any water on that, because that's your filter. That's the thing that's clearing the smoke out your house, and you don't want to mess that up. So don't get anything on that. But like I said, this thing is really simple to use. You can use the app, or you can do it by hand. There is an update when you first get it that you'll have to do, and it'll download some things to make sure that it's working at its top efficiency. Also remember, the light is so important. You see how you open this door and your light comes on? If that light is not coming on and off, that means you might have pellets inside of here, or something must be wrong, because that light is pretty much your thing to tell you that everything is working correctly with this unit. Okay? Really can't think of anything else to tell you about this unit right now. This is not a review. This is just some heads up to tell you that, hey, I'm really loving this machine now that it's working. This is my third unit, and if I do think anything's going to go bad, I think it's going to be the door again, because like I said, that last one, I just used it one time, and then it said it stayed open. So I don't know how good the sensor is on this door. Okay, and I did have a problem with this not closing properly, but I'm lucky I realized to take this out, like I said, and clear, because pellets, when you open this up, the machine still drops 1 or 2 pellets, and they get down there so that you can't push this in. Okay? Well, that's Mr. North 14, and that's pretty much all I have for you right now. Peace out.